Hey everybody! I recorded this video earlier today during the second block, and the app that I was using crashed, and I lost the video, and it made me very sad because now I'm having to start all over again. But mainly, the whole thing was I was teaching during my second block, so you could hear the interaction of the other kids in the classroom interacting with me. So you're gonna have to just deal with me now, which maybe things for you, but videos may be a little bit more boring or interesting, whatever you want to do. This document right here is the outline you're going to use for your essay that we're composing on our identity. We went over the notes last week about the how to write an essay, how to work harder, not smarter, and then we've been doing the building blocks to this essay, including that bubble map. And I posted how to do the bubble map on Google Classroom. This is what mine kind of looks like right now. Um, I went through and I highlighted some stuff, and you'll see how that plays into this here in a second. But pretty much what I'm going to do up here, our thesis is we're trying to figure out who we are as a person. And so I kind of already did this already, but I'm going to write again for the sake of this video. How do I define my identity? Okay. Because that's our thesis statement. We're trying to figure out who we are as a person, okay? And we did that with that bubble chart that we did last week, okay? Bubble map, excuse me. Again, mine looked like that. I kind of went through there and I explained, that I'm a dad, I'm a teacher, I'm a grandson, I love Halloween, I'm a brother, I'm a Christian, I like to go to Comic Con, I like to read comic books and watch movies, I like to write, I'm a son, I'm a runner, I'm a husband. All these things are kind of define who Michael Bean is, okay? So pretty much what we did in class today was, in order to fill the rest of this out, we went through our bubble map and we highlighted 5 things that we're kind of comfortable writing about. So like for me, I circled them. We could have highlighted or circled them. I picked dad, that I was a teacher, that I liked movies, that I liked wrestling, and that I liked comic books. Now, those are the 5 that I was the most comfortable with. Okay, so from there we picked 3 more that we think we'd be the most comfortable writing about. So on the side over here, I wrote down dad, teacher, and wrestling because those are 3 things of the things I highlighted that I'm the most comfortable with. So you don't want to pick a topic that you're not comfortable writing about because that makes it kind of awkward. So for like me as a person, I wrote down that I'm a Christian, but being a Christian to me is kind of a very personal thing. And so, like, that's not something I'm really comfortable writing about than having somebody else read. So that's why I said pick 3 things you're most comfortable writing about. So I did not pick that because, in my eyes, that's a very personal thing. I don't want to write about that because that's between me and the man upstairs, okay? And so, what I told the kids, I'm a husband. I've been married to my wife for 17 years, but our relationship is our relationship. That's something that I really don't want to write about. So I didn't go with that. So I went with being a dad, being a teacher, and liking pro wrestling. So you need to make sure that you pick 3 things you're comfortable writing about. So if you play basketball and you're comfortable writing about basketball, by golly, go ahead and write down basketball. But if you're not comfortable writing about basketball, or maybe it's like your dad makes you do basketball, but you're not crazy about doing basketball, and you're like, oh, I don't like basketball. Don't pick basketball because if you don't know why it defines you, it's gonna make the essay harder. So what we did from here was where you got point one, point two, and point three. And it helps when my pens turn around correctly. I'm gonna write down being a dad. I'm gonna write down being a teacher. I'm gonna write down that I like to watch wrestling. We're here in the South, we don't say wrestling, we say wrestling. Okay? And I did this from other class already. So let me show you an example of what one looks like. I'm going to show you what to do and what not to do. Okay? So in my first period today, I wrote down teacher. Okay? I also wrote my name in Spanish up there, just to mix it up. Okay? So I had to come up with 3 reasons why being a teacher defined my identity. So I wrote down why there just to remind myself that A, B, and C are going to be answering that question, why. Okay, so the reasons why I think being a teacher defines my identity, or why I like being a teacher, I just use bullet points. I'm not going to go into great detail. I put it's something new every day because, hey, when you're teaching, it's something new every day, which is, pretty cool to me. If I had to sit in the office do the same thing every single day, I'd be bored out of my mind. Second reason why I like being a teacher, I get to spend extra time with my son. So, our oldest child, or all three of my kids go to advanced charter school, but I got to teach Christian. I got to teach Christian 2 years ago. I'm teaching Noah this year. In a few years, I'll get to teach Levi. I get to spend all this extra time with my kids. A lot of parents don't get to do, and that's awesome to me because I like spending time with my kids. The last reason I had that I like being a teacher is I get good retirement benefits. Being a state employee, one day I'm going to get to retire, which is awesome. I don't want to be 95 years old and be like, I need to go to work because I got to get my paycheck. I don't want that problem. And that's one of the nice things of being a state employee is that one day I can retire. So again, these three details, though, answer the question, why does being a teacher define my identity? Let me show you what not to do, okay? Let me show you what not to do. I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to pick down here in wrestling. And so I need to come up with 3 reasons why wrestling defines Michael Bean, okay? So I need to write 3 things about wrestling. I'm going to write, it's cool, it's neat, and it's fun. Here's the problem with cool, neat, and fun. It doesn't tell me anything, okay? Saying wrestling is cool, and it's neat, and it's fun, well, I mean, that literally could be applied to any activity out there, okay? So I need to come up with the reason why I like to watch professional wrestling, okay? And I know wrestling's silly, it's stupid, it's a soap opera, it's a comic book, it's all sorts of things, but cool, neat, and fun doesn't tell me anything. So that's what I don't want to do. I want to avoid that ambiguous description of cool, neat, and fun because it doesn't tell me anything. So maybe a reason that I like wrestling is the fact that my dad and I watched it when I was little, and it's something we bonded over. That's a reason right there, okay? Maybe I like wrestling because it's like watching a comic book come to life, and I like comic books, so that could be a reason right there. Maybe I like wrestling just because it's fun entertainment, and I can watch it and turn my brain off and not to have to think too hard about it. That can be a reason right there. Maybe I like it because it's like watching a stunt show come to life. That could be it right there. But cool, neat, and fun doesn't tell me anything, okay? So when you fill this form out, remember for each column, you're going to tell me why, okay? Why? So, I already went through being a teacher. So I'll pull that up again. You don't have to have long, drawn-out sentences. Just give me something. Something new every day. I get to spend extra time with my sons, good retirement benefits. So if you like to play basketball, why do you like to play basketball? Make sure you just explain the reason why. When you guys get this done, this is honest to goodness, this is the hardest part of the essay. The bubble map, you guys already have done. Don't forget to send me that screenshot of it, okay? And then this, okay? Not too hard. You do not need to turn this into me, but by filling this form out, you're doing the hardest part of the essay right there. Because when you get to writing the essay, it'll be a lot walk in the park. I have a video already posted to Google Classroom of an essay example that we look at in detail and we mark it up. Make sure you watch that video of how to identify and label aspects of the essay. I'm going to give the bottom part right here where it says conclusion. We're just writing a concluding statement, which is kind of very similar to the thesis. And you can count that down where it says conclusion. My identity is defined by being a teacher, being a dad, and liking comic books. So in this example, I did comic books and not wrestling, and that's fine. But when you guys write that statement, my identity is defined by being a teacher, being a dad, and liking comic books. You're just restating what we already know, okay? So that's why it's a concluding statement. So, and this is one, like I said, this is a little bit different one right here, but how do I define my identity? That's your thesis. And then you're just using your bubble map to come up with 3 things that define your identity, and you're telling me why in the middle right there. Like I said, this is the hardest part of the essay. As always, if you have questions, don't hesitate to holler at me, send me an email, tweet me at TeachingBean if you're on Twitter. And I think that's it. I will holler at y'all later.